I start my presentation, I just want you to know a bit about me. I'm coming from Harare, Meboren North Church. I'm excited. I came with my brother. He comes from a different church, but this is my family. I want to thank God because the work that I do is looking after cancer patients. So I'm going to talk about pain and suffering. But why did God take me to that work? I needed an experience that will help me understand those people in pain. So I needed to go through my own little pain to understand those that are in pain. So I'll tell you a bit of my life. I've got my son in there. I don't think he knows. I was a very intelligent child. Grade 1 to Form 3, nobody beat me. I was the best student. Then in Form 3, I lost it. I just got sick. I couldn't remember where I was. I couldn't remember the person sitting next to me. I couldn't remember my classmates. I couldn't remember where I was. So I was at a boarding school. I had to go home. So I went home. No memory. Sometimes when I went to bed, I would sleep for 18 hours. It was okay. If my father didn't wake me up, it was okay. We tried medical, and they told me I'm psychiatric. I needed to go to psychiatric unit for treatment. That was hard for my father. So, you know, in families, we are so many of us. So my aunt came home and stayed and said, my brother, if you want your daughter to be well, let's go to a nganga. And my father said, since I was born, I never saw a nganga at my father's house. So we are not going to go. So we sat down. I remember these words from my father. If you die in the Lord. I would rather have you dead and watching your grave every day, knowing that you have died in the Lord. That was shaking for me because I thought my father is concerned about my healing. He is talking about my dying. And Form 3 is already talking about death. And I was like, Dad, what are you talking about? Do you mean this thing there's nothing that we can do about it? And my father kept on saying to me, if you die, my daughter, your grave will be there. He took me to the gravesite. And I'll watch it, but I'll not take you anywhere else except to the Lord. I remember we stayed in a farming area. And I remember these old women coming. And one of them, I remember, she couldn't even see where she was going. But they came. And what did they say to me? They said, Musukuru, we are going to sleep on that mountain tonight. And I know the mountain has got snakes. And I was just wondering, are these women crazy? I can't sleep on a mountain where there are snakes. So we went to the mountain at night. It was an all-night prayer with the elders of my church in our farming area where I come from. And the next morning I could remember, this is Mbuya Ngundu, this is Mbuya Mposh. That was the starting of my healing. So my father says, as long as you can know who these people are, go back to school. How can I go back to school? I can still read. Daughter, you are going back to school. We drove back to school. And it was a Catholic school. So the sisters took me and I was given a test to write. And I got 0. So my father said, I've brought here to school. I'm going back. So he went back. And I remember Sister Maria took me and says, "You are going to go to school. School is starting, go back to class." When you can't remember anything. So what Sister Maria used to do as I was in class, it was things that I didn't understand. But she would be by the window with her rosary that says that this foolish thing and praying for me. That's how I got back to school. Sister Maria and the Gogomposh and the Gogos in my village. That's why I'm here today. So I went to school. The memory has not fully come back. I forget here and there, lots, but I'm a manager. I manage a branch with a good package, with a family, with a decent home, but no memory. And I go on. So when I was in it, I even went to school of nursing. I wouldn't even remember. Then I was supposed to be doing practicals, going around and saying, Mr. John is this, and Mrs. John is that, and Mr. is this. I don't even remember Mr. John. But I went to school and passed. So after that, I said, what can I do for this Lord? I said I would take the most difficult people to look after, cancer patients like me. When I got there to the cancer patients, I came across people who were dying. Not living, people who were dying. My brother, come. And my brother, I want my brother to stand there. And my brother to stand there. So the starting point of cancer is the day that you are diagnosed as cancer. We are talking about palliative care. Eh? So palliative care starts from the day that you know you've got cancer to the day that you die to afterlife bereavement. Yes. So imagine yourself, young man as he is, he's told he has got a diagnosis of cancer. What do you think happens to him? You start talking about death, he's already dead before he dies. He's already dead. And the moment he goes home to his family, come family members, I want family members here. Me, I do community work, so I'll do it very practically. Come family members, I want some, come family member. Huh? Yes. What are these family members? Come, what are these family members saying? This is the father and the brother and the sister. He comes home and tells them, I've got cancer. Atofa anditika. To them, he is already dead, but he is walking. So imagine yourself, I'm the health professional, coming to this family that is already dead. They're already dead before they got there. In palliative care, we are talking about death because they die the moment they are told. It doesn't matter how the doctor tells them, but if you go onto your WhatsApp, it tells you cancer kills. And that's where people are. So I still want to put life into this dead person because they are already dead. It doesn't take an ordinary person to put life into that. So I can't go there putting all the statistics that they've told you about me. They don't work because I'm talking about a dead person. The only person that can rise him from the dead is God. So I need to undress myself and say, God, how am I going to raise him from the dead to live again before he finally dies? People are denying when he is on the deathbed to say that, people are talking about death. He died there. The moment that he was told you are dying, he died there. As he is just living, as he is living here, he is just a dead person walking. But he's already dead, accompanied by confirming relatives. So the work of palliative care is to bring life to him before he dies. So that is the work of palliative care. So if people come to my office and ask me, they want a job, I ask you, how do you raise the dead? So the health ministries, when it comes to cancer, is how do you raise the dead? Because he died there. So when you go to him, you say, my wife, my children, my whatever, what is going to happen to them? That's the story. But if we take to a live person, they are not talking about their wife, life, their children, their whatever, because they think they are still living. But because he is dead, he's already asking what is going to happen to my mother, to my father, to my whatever. So in palliative care, we don't worry about those. We worry about yourself. How much do you affirm life? How important is life to you? Or you just go in and die with them? So you want to breathe life, so you need to have life. So me, I use my testimony. God, if a manager who has no memory can still work and give duties, you can raise this family. So I'm going to tell them there is still life before you die. It is not a pity party situation where you feel sorry. Feeling sorry and sympathetic, it kills because he's already dead. It's not for this to go and say, oh, sorry, my brother. Sorry. Oh, we just did. That's what church members do. You are increasing their death sentence. So as a church, because we are also dead, we always think about death. We go into people's homes. Instead of ministering, we confirm dead. So we are doctors that confirm death to an already dead person. So I was just thinking and looking. I went up to the back there and said, are you real healthy people who are going to bring, because the cancer is on the market these days. It's on market. How many of you are going to bring people back to life? And people think about things. But me, I also had another experience. I worked in Mabuku around 98, blah, 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 on a project. And that's when people were dying. If you go to Mabuku, you don't find a 60 to 70 age group. They all died. So children remained. And it was a dying period. Death was a day-to-day activity. So you get to a home, and the breadwinner is died, and there's no food. What do you say? There is no show of mealie meal. There is no show of anything to eat. And you have come in, like me, I could have driven in. What could you say to this family that has no food? God will provide. That's what the church says. God will provide. Me, I'll look. You know, all of us, in the depth of your poverty, in the depth of your situation, God put something hidden that we don't see. So even He cannot see it. You need to uproot the life that is no longer seen. The life is in Him. It's just a word that has been told that has changed his perspective about his life. So you also need a word to cancel that word and bring him back to life. So I'll tell him, Mister, okay, they've just told you cancer. Do you know how long it has been in your system? No. So maybe you've been living with it since you were born. It's just now it has been tested. Don't you thank God for that miracle? That you have been living with a foreign thing for all these years. and you have not known. It's just this machine that is cruel, that has shown you this condition. But you have lived with it. You don't know when it was planted. Maybe you were born with it. So why are you killing yourself with something that you don't know? They worry, food, whatever. And I tell them, were you born with a plate? How did you get your first meal? How did you eat today? We ate. So that God that made you to eat today will make you eat tomorrow. I tell you in my book, I would go house to house. Where there was no meal, I go back the next day, they would have eaten. Don't put people into a suffering. People are already suffering. Don't join the band of suffering. What we as Christians are doing is to relieve the suffering that this family is going through. So when you start speaking about the language of suffering, it doesn't. You are killing the family. So and we also go with the songs. Kana matambudziko asangana newe. We sing problems. So they actually relate to problems. And they continue to die. So when I walk into their homes, I actually sing nice songs. God is good. Eh? God is good. I can just even say one word. This one doesn't understand many words. They don't listen, they are dead. So they don't listen to many words. The problem that the church has, they want to bring too many words to a dead family. They don't hear. So our problem is trying to go and fix, bring so many ideas and philosophies and doctrines to a dead family. They don't hear. Preach your sermon, they are not listening, they are dead. Yeah, the dead know nothing, my brother, you are right. So what you need to do is one word, because they were just told one word, Dickens. So don't look for too many words. Look for one positive word that they can hold up to. If you can't find that word, keep quiet. If you want to know when a family is killed, it's when they are suffering and you say so many things. This one, you will die first, but these ones will also follow because of the words that you said. Because when we are traveling this journey of a dead family, I'm traveling with them. I don't travel by him alone. In caring, if you care for him and don't care for these ones will keep on telling you are dead. And your message will not get there. So you need to carry the patient and the family to resurrection. To say there is still life. We are not dying. So we need to, we don't just live. People of God, we don't just live. I teach a class, and this youth I always say, ask them, my comrade, so I'm asking you guys, or you lie to yourself. The Namo starts when he moves to there and leaving small children. That's when Namo starts. But if you are not yet there, if you are saying you have got Namo, you are cursing God. So the Namo person, if you are a Namo person, you can't bring a dead person to life. You still need to take yourself out from Namo, from suffering. Take out the jacket of suffering and put on the jacket of praise. Then you are able to say, just today you are alive. Praise be to God. Just today you are alive. Praise. That's what I do sometimes. If I see the situation is hopeless, I'm just celebrating. Sometimes I can go and dance and they say this woman is mad. I'm so happy you're alive today. I create 5 songs. And when I do that tomorrow, they've got something to expect. They start looking around themselves. So there is still something to live for. And they live. So leave your jacket of suffering at your home. And these ones are looking for life, which doesn't exist at the moment. So when we are dealing with cancer, HIV, they are dead people. And they need somebody to take them through. And it's not an easy job because they are not dying today. Although he has died, he can die after 20 years. He can die after 5 years. He can die after so many years. But his time from here to there is in my hands. It's in my hands. How much am I pronouncing life to this dead person? So the greatest medicine is what you say. It was the word that killed him. It's the word that brings them to life. So what is important is the one word. The doctor, when we are telling people, we don't tell them too many words. We tell you, your results are back. And this is what they have said. You have got cancer. That's it. So you also need to say, the results of the Bible have come back. You have got life. Full stop. So many of us want to come with a lot of jargon. That's why I'm not even showing. I've got a presentation they'll give you. I'm just wanting to show you the simplicity of God in changing people's life using simple techniques. Because if I start to tell you the definitions of that palliative care is a theory that we use for people that have got life-limiting illnesses, blah, 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 you get theory and go back and do nothing. So I want to give you practical skills that you are going to use when you have left here. So I said my first practical skill, shake yourself, remove suffering from yourself first. And never talk about suffering about yourself. You are lying. As long as you have not there at the corner of my brother, you are still alive. So you have no problems. So that when you have got life in you, because you can't give what you don't have. You have to give what is in you. You have to carry the energy that is in you to the next person. If you don't have that energy, what are you carrying? Roman Rova, I've been beaten, you're going there. If you have been beaten, stay home. It's not for the dead to bring the dead to life. It's for the living to bring the dead to life. So if you are dead, don't go. You kill this patient. So the first thing, shake yourself. Me, I'm telling you, I have no problem. God carries it all. Even if I have no money, the Bible says, go buy and eat in Isaiah 55 without money. I've seen people living without money. I've seen people go to school without money. So I don't need money to live. So when I get to this one, you tell me chemotherapy is 15,000. I'll say, okay. So where are we going to get the 15,000? I don't, so I'm going to die. I say, my friend, what else can we do? What can keep your life still going? Who do you think can assist you? Let's look for solutions. So the solutions are with him. He already knows his sources. You say, okay, my brother, okay, is in UK. I haven't told him. Let me phone. Or this one. Or else you say, I'm not going for treatment. Or maybe I'll try, or maybe let's do this. I'll say, let God speak to you what your treatment route is. Treatments are not the same. There are some that will do well with chemo. There are some that will do well with just support. There are some that have got cancers that are not aggressive. There are some that have got cancers that are aggressive. That treatment is not effective at that particular time. But if I pull him enough, he knows. In counseling, it's not about what I bring. We say you are helping somebody to cope with their situation. So what I'm doing is giving this family coping skills. It's not me taking over and saying, you run your home, 1, 2, 3. I was not there when this father brought up this son. I don't know how they live in this home, but I can still say them, if you ask the Holy Spirit, it will lead you. So let's ask the Holy Spirit, what is inside you? How can you get healed? You can still get better with whatever circumstances that you are. You don't necessarily need anything. Don't say, he has no money and is going to die. You are lying. You don't know how long this cancer has been in this body. So you don't have what gives you the audacity to say that somebody is dying? You don't know. You travel the journey. And it's not a short journey. I'll tell you, I traveled a journey with my cousin. You know Faith? Yeah, I've got my son here. I traveled a journey with Faith. Faith was HIV positive. She was a prostitute. And she was prostituting initially. She came from wherever. My aunt, I didn't even know, wrote a letter. That was the letter, full stop. And okay, she came and said, okay, here in our tribe, this is our food to look after people. So it is home, come home. The next time she comes, she brings a boyfriend. Okay, I've seen. The next time she comes, she brings another one. The next time he comes, she was being beaten by another boyfriend and she's running to a hiding place at my house. A few months later, a few years later, she gets sick. Auntie, I'm sick. And I says, I know what's killing you. Let's go for a test. Auntie, I can't go there. Let's go. There is life in being tested. That was my first message. There is life in being tested. I'm going to accompany you. Let's go. We went together. Positive. And I says, I'm so happy for you. Because God has been keeping a positive people doing whatever you're doing and keeping you alive. Isn't that amazing, God's grace? She looked at me and says, Auntie, what are you saying? And I say, I've never seen grace like this. This is what we call grace. In its fullest grace. And she looked at me, Auntie, you don't, and I says, I work with these people. It's grace. My daughter, it's grace. Let's go and continue to live in under that grace. She was not married. She had a child, and I said, what are your desires? She says, to live, to look after my child until we finish school. And I says, I'll take you through the journey. One day she would phone me and take me to hospital. I would drive and take. So my husband would be phoning my sisters. My Maria Babuda, she has gone to work. Yes, that is my name. My Maria. I do everything for people. And my Teresa, those are the names. So I wake up and go. Okay, we are in the hospital by the two of us. And you see, now you see, my body is no longer like what it was. I've got this and that. And people are already asking me. And I says, wow, they didn't realize how beautiful you have turned. They don't know. They are lying. Let me give you a mirror. I'll take my mirror from my bag. I move with a mirror and say, you are so beautiful, yeah? They lie to you, baby. You are so beautiful, yeah? And I change the story. Just to change and make it positive. And bring back people to life. I carried her through Jane. She could get sick. Sometimes, the other time she says, I'm tired of this medication. I'm not taking. And I says, can I take them for you? Today I'll drink a tablet on your behalf. And I drank it. It won't kill me. So that she could continue drinking. Sometimes you have to crush yourself to allow people to drink. So I drank it. And I says, but it didn't kill me. So why is it supposed to kill you? If you mean that, let's go to the hospital. I'll ask for my dose, and we'll have a dose, and we drink together. When it's 7 o'clock to drink, I'll be taking my dose, and you'll be taking your dose. And she could see it was serious business, and she began to drink again. She'll get in trouble. Auntie, I'm this. Okay, let's travel the journey together. Yeah. Auntie, you are sick. Let's build a house. You have got a child. You have got to build the house. Money that you have been wasting, I'm managing it. Bring your account. Let's manage your money. Let's budget. Yes, I will help you with the budgeting. You build a house. She built a house. Yes. School fees. We are going to send the child to school. Where is South Africa? Auntie, I get $200. And I say, you need a miracle because you don't have a long life. You need to leave a child with a miracle. Don't leave an ordinary child because your life is not going to be too long. Let's take to South Africa with no money. Yes, with no money. The first time they took him to a cousin, and the cousin chased him. Auntie, she has been chased, and I said, well done, because she would depend on that person. We don't have children that are slaves. Let him go to boarding school, and we'll start from there with no money. Yes, go, and with no money, go buy and eat. So they'll go, we got there, went and school fees. Then this white person says, my friend Faith, you did well for me. Can you come and work in Norway so that your child can go to school? And the child went and graduated and got married, and everything went for the wedding. And when the wedding was finished, her dream, Faith's dream was finished. Yes, when she came back, she was then transferred. You travel the journey, it's years. In health is not one day like what the evangelist do. I'm also an evangelist. You don't just minister today and it's over. In health, you take them through the journey. Names by their conditions. Do you know this cancer patient? There is nobody called cancer. They are still like us. Don't kill the people with the words that you say. Yes, so in palliative care, it's about me and what I say, and carry the people through the journey. And we are saying, I'm closing. In my closing, don't worry about me. My presentation will just flow. So when I end here, I'm picking it up in the afternoon. So I'm ending it here for a while. We are taking a commercial break, and then following with my team in the afternoon. May the dear Lord bless you. In the afternoon, we continue.